The moment you start explaining yourself, something subtle but fatal happens. Power shifts. Picture this. Someone questions your competence in a meeting. A partner twists your words. A stranger throws a passive-aggressive remark your way. Your body reacts instantly. Your chest tightens. Your mind races. You feel the urge to clarify, to justify, to prove that they misunderstood you. So you speak. And in doing so, you surrender. Because the world does not judge you by how accurate your explanation is. It judges you by how necessary your explanation seems. The one who rushes to explain is the one who feels accused. The one who defends is the one who has already accepted judgment. Power is not about truth, it is about frame. The moment you defend yourself, you step into someone else's frame. You become the defendant in a courtroom you never agreed to enter. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He knew that authority does not belong to the person with the best argument, but to the person who refuses to be put on trial. Most people never realize this. They live in a permanent state of reaction, apologizing, clarifying, softening themselves so others feel comfortable, and slowly they bleed power. But there is another way to move through the world, a way that makes attacks collapse under their own weight, a way that turns silence into dominance. That is what this is about.
Your instinct to explain did not come from nowhere. It was trained into you. Think back to childhood. When an authority figure accused you, what was your only escape? Explaining. You learned early that survival depended on convincing someone more powerful than you that you were good, innocent, or reasonable. The problem is, you grew up, but that pattern didn't. Now, unconsciously, you project authority onto everyone, your boss, your partner, even people who dislike you. When you defend yourself, what you are really saying is, "You are the judge, please approve me so I can feel safe." That message leaks weakness, and human beings, at a primal level, are exquisitely sensitive to it. When you explain too much, you signal that your stability depends on agreement, that your identity needs external validation to remain intact. This is why explanations rarely work, because the attack was never about facts, it was about power. They didn't accuse you to understand you, they accused you to see if you would react. And when you react, you confirm their leverage. The first real shift happens when you realize something unsettling but liberating. There is no courtroom, there is no judge, there is only perception, and perception belongs to whoever holds the frame.
Now imagine a different response. Someone says, "You're being selfish." The old version of you rushes in, lists sacrifices, explains intentions, defends character. The powerful version does something else. Nothing. You hold eye contact. Your face stays neutral. You let the silence stretch. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5. That silence is not empty. It is pressure. The human brain hates unresolved tension. When you don't fill the space, the other person feels exposed. They start talking again, backtracking, softening, explaining themselves. Without saying a word, you reverse the roles. This is why silence is so effective. It gives the attacker nowhere to land. There is no resistance to push against, no emotional reaction to hook into. You become psychologically unreadable, and unreadable people are dangerous. When you defend yourself, you reveal your insecurities. When you stay silent, you reveal nothing. Silence acts like a mirror, and most people are deeply uncomfortable seeing their own aggression reflected back at them. This is not coldness, it is sovereignty.
Sometimes silence alone is not enough. But when you speak, the rule remains the same. Never speak defensively. One method is to agree without submitting. If someone says, "You messed this up," you don't argue the label, you acknowledge the fact. "Yes, there's an error, I'll fix it." Notice what you didn't do. You didn't accept the identity they tried to attach. You took responsibility without taking shame. Another method is to pull instead of push. If someone asks, "Why are you always late?" Instead of explaining, you ask, "Why does that bother you so much?" Suddenly, the focus shifts. They are no longer interrogating you. They are being observed. This is how you refuse the role of defendant. You don't fight the box they put you in. You step outside it and look at it with mild curiosity. And sometimes the most disarming move of all is humor. Not defensive humor, not nervous humor, but calm, exaggerated agreement. You're greedy. Absolutely, I bathe in gold every weekend. You are signaling something crucial. This does not touch me. A person who is secure can afford to laugh. A person who is threatened cannot.
None of this works if it's just a trick. People can feel it. If your voice shakes, if your energy begs to be liked, silence will betray you. Real power comes from something deeper, self-knowledge. The reason accusations hurt is because they touch something unresolved inside you. If someone calls you something you know you are not, you don't react. But if they hit a hidden fear, your defenses flare. That's the work. When you accept your own flaws, no one can weaponize them against you. When you know you are capable of selfishness, being called selfish loses its sting. When you know your shadow, exposure becomes impossible. You cannot shame someone who has already faced themselves. This is what it means to be untouchable. Not perfect, not emotionless, but whole. So here's the challenge. For 7 days, do not explain yourself. If you're late, say you're late. If you make a mistake, say you did. If someone misunderstands you, let them. Feel the discomfort. Let the urge to justify burn out. Watch what happens. Confusion first, then respect, then something deeper, gravity. Because nothing signals certainty like a person who does not need to prove their worth. That is the shift, from reaction to control, from defense to dominance. Keep your silence, keep your frame, and let the world adjust to you.